Sitting outside right now at Duckworth Grill in Mooresville, North Carolina. Only about a half hour away from Hickory Motor Speedway, where all the action is going to happen this weekend. A double header for the Cars Tour, combining the late model stock cars and the pro late models. So much hype going into this weekend. How excited are you for this event?
70 plus cars on the entry list. I mean, just unbelievable. I was talking to some people today when I stopped by Hickory Motor Speedway. They said the only other race that had this many cars is, they believe, the first race they ever had. I think I was talking to Travis Quapple about that today. So Jack McNally, Keeley and everybody doing such a good job with the Cars Tour. Obviously, new ownership group there as well, and they're guiding them along the way. But I'm excited. 41 late model stock cars. And in the history of the Cars Tour, no track has hosted more Cars Tour events, 17 in all for the late model stock cars of the Cars Tour at Hickory Motor Speedway, the birthplace of NASCAR stars. I'm pumped, I can't wait.
Listen, Hickory Motor Speedway has all the touring series this year, including ASA National, Cars Tour, Smart Mods. We were there 1 week ago. But something I thought was cool, you mentioned the car count for the late model stocks. They're running a B main. How cool is that for late model stock racing in the South?
I think that's cool, but for those that are in it, that means somebody's not going to make the show, because they have 32 starters and 41, I'm hearing maybe 43 cars possibly altogether. So some people are going to leave Hickory Motor Speedway for this Cars Tour late model stock car event a little bit unhappy because they won't make the show. But that shows you what this series is doing. Not only just the new ownership group who have injected some adrenaline into the series, but also, as I said, Keeley and Jack, all that they've done through the years, they are really taking this tour and advancing it with the help of the new ownership group to a different level.
Being that there's a B main and so much talent throughout this field, it just puts so much more of an emphasis on qualifying and all throughout the day. So who do you think can hit it right all throughout the day and end up in victory lane that night?
Well, he tested at Hickory Motor Speedway this week, and he won the most recent event, Carson Quapple. I was there at Hickory Motor Speedway when he and that Bass Pro team were there, and they looked pretty darn good. And he always qualifies well, and I think qualifying will really play a hand into what we see at Hickory Motor Speedway. That track surface, you should have seen the cars testing. Those guys were bumping on the bottom, and the cars were kind of all over the place from the exit of, turn number 3 into turn number 4 and onto the front stretch. So I think qualifying is going to be key, and I think that Carson Quapple is one of those consummate fast guys in qualifying, and I believe that he could go back-to-back wins in the Cars Tour.
Speaking of Carson Quapple running for Junior Motorsports, Dale Jr. is going to be in attendance this weekend, watching his driver and all the action for the series. How cool is that, and how good is that for short track racing, having somebody like him show up at the track?
I think it's awesome. It was almost better, though, because when I showed up for the test at Hickory Motor Speedway, I went on the roof and I was doing a little site survey for when the ASA Stars National Tour comes to town on Thursday, May 25th. And I'm like, wait a second, who has a car next to Carson Quapple? I'm like, that's the 3 machine. That's Junior's car. And all of a sudden, Junior comes out of the trailer and he hops in the car, and I spoke to him and he said, you know what? I just came out here to have some fun, to figure this place out. And, he admits, Hickory is not his best racetrack. So he wants to get better. He was doing a little testing this week and hinted the fact that maybe someday in the future he'll run a Cars Tour event, a late model stock car event at Hickory Motor Speedway. But he said, I'm coming back. I'm going to be with the people, with the fans that are going to come out in force to support this event, and at a racetrack that he loves with all the history of Hickory Motor Speedway. So it's going to be nice to have Dale Jr. there.
Now looking to some new talent joining the field for Hickory Motor Speedway, William Solowich, we both got to watch him down in Speed Weeks. Very impressive, coming off a great Truck Series debut at Martinsville Speedway. What do you think about him and his chances on Saturday?
Solowich is a talent. I tell you what, everything that I've ever seen him drive, and I still got to find out why he has a rooster on his car.
You did never find that out?
I never found. William, why do you have a rooster on your car? I don't get it. Maybe you have a chicken farm. I don't know. Anyway, that's besides the point, but it just reminded me that I wanted to know that. But, William Solowich, hard to say his name sometimes, he's a talent. Really good in pro late models, really good in super late models. He's in the late model stock car event for the Cars Tour. Just coming off that great run in the NASCAR Truck Series 1 week ago at the paperclip of Martinsville Speedway, where he posted a top 10 run. I think he's a shot to go to victory lane on Saturday night. And think about Connor Jones as well. We saw Connor in a pro late model, just like he's going to be, actually he's running a late model stock car this weekend, but saw him win the pro late model title down at New Smyrna Speedway. And he should be pretty fast too, coming off his Craftsman Truck Series debut in NASCAR this past weekend at Martinsville as well. So Connor Jones, another one of those names that will be at Hickory that we'll be hearing about for a long time.
Now, one of the other things I really look forward to in this race, I heard a lot of people saying it post-race after the last race of the Cars Tour, is this points battle. It's going to be so interesting to watch all year between Carson Kvapil and Brandon Queen, Minnie Tyrell, all these young drivers. What do you think? I know it's still early in the season, but all this young talent, how do you think it's going to sort itself out, especially at Hickory and then on throughout the season?
Okay, I think Hickory, and I hate to say this to the young drivers, I'm very sorry, I apologize right now, but I think it's going to be about wisdom at Hickory Motor Speedway and experience. I think that will shine through, and for that I'm looking at guys like Deke McCaskill, who won the opener for the Cars Tour this year at Southern National Motorsports Park. He's a former winner at Hickory Motor Speedway in the Cars Tour Late Model Stock Car Wars. Or Bobby McCarty, I think he's won 3 times in Late Model Stocks in the Cars Tour at Hickory. Chad McCumbee, another veteran. Hard to call him a veteran because he used to be in the short track draft for Speed 51, but I think he's going to be tough as well. He's one of the Touring 12 of the Cars Tour. So I look to those 3 drivers, all former winners at Hickory Motor Speedway, as guys that I think will be definites to try to contend for the win on Saturday night.
Now, it's not only the late model stock car tour, it's pro late models as well, and they have an impressive entry list as well. You look all through that list. There was actually a few drivers testing today, including Isabella Robusto, Katie Hettinger, and Brent Cruz. A lot of that talent that you were seeing in Speed Weeks is now, coming on to the Cars Tour Pro Late Model scene as well, and it'll be a fun battle to watch all year as well.
Okay, so let me put you on the spot. You put me on the spot. Who's going to win the race in the Pro Late Models? 30 cars, I think, entered?
Yep. I got to look to a guy, probably Tyler Church. He has experience in multiple divisions throughout in Hickory Motor Speedway, all his runs. So you just mentioned Hickory Motor Speedway and how much experience is going to play a factor in the Late Model Stock Car Tour. I say the same thing for Pro Late Models. Tyler Church will be up there, but also, if I were to pick another guy, Matt Craig is always strong around the Carolinas, and maybe nobody has more experience at that track than him.
Yeah, I agree with you. And now all the young kids are not only going to go after me, they're going to go after you as well. But there's some young kids in the field in the Pro Late Model Wars that a lot of people should keep an eye on, because like Connor Jones and like William Sawalich, I think we're going to be hearing about some of these kids for years to come.
Well, you have so many drivers coming from so many different places. I find it cool. One of the cool things about the Cars Tour Pro Late Models is drivers like Gavin Boschel, Brent Cruz, and Caden Kvapil, who come from the Millbridge scene, now trying their talents on the pavement side. So, a driver like Gavin Boschel at Southern National, he had a chance at that win at the end. Mike Hopkins, he was battling with him towards the end, got moved up a groove a little bit, and he'll certainly be one to watch. Brent Cruz, running for Donnie Wilson Motorsports at Speed Weeks, he should be strong again. And Caden Kvapil, he was up there as well. So all 3 of those drivers, young drivers on the pavement now, should be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, Caden Kvapil running for the Pro Late Model Championship in the Cars Tour, much like his brother's running for the Late Model Stock Car Championship. But I even look at Katie Hettinger for Anthony Campy Racing, showed so much down at New Smyrna Speedway, and the Pro Late Model Wars really dominated a lot of the action there, got a lot of hoopla when she won the race down there. But I'm sure at this stage of the season, she is a driver that wants to get back to victory lane, because the critics are going to be out there. After
she gained a win down in New Smyrna for the World Series of Asphalt and is racing for Anthony Campy Racing, she can't stay out of any spotlight right now. She's known as one of the top drivers in the field and one of the contenders to win wherever she'll show up this year now. But she's not the only female in the field too. Isabella Robusto, who tested on today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, tested at Hickory Motor Thursday.
Can't keep track of days where we got so much going on.
Tested at Hickory Motor Speedway. She'll be strong, and one of the cool things about her as well is she'll be pulling double throughout the whole season, throughout late model stock cars and pro late models. But a driver I really want to spotlight right now is one that I've seen run at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the summer shootout. She gained a win last year in a legend car. Jaden Daniels will also be joining the field for the pro late models, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. By the way, one of the patrons here at Duckworth just said, no, it is Wednesday, Bob. So yeah, okay, it's Wednesday. We can't keep track of our days at all. I want to know if you have a dark horse in Saturday's field in the pro late models at Hickory Motor Speedway.
I feel like, we've mentioned so much about this experience and veterans. A dark horse would have to be a young driver. And I would probably say my dark horse would be Gavin Bochelle. He really showed that he progressed his driving all the way through on the pavement side throughout the speed weeks and was right there for the win in Southern National. So I expect him to be right up there again. He's only getting better the more pavement he gets, more pavement experience he gets, and I believe he'll be a contender for the win.
I'm going to go in the pro late model ranks, and I don't get the opportunity to talk about pros too much, but Justin Kreider. Justin Kreider, has had a lot of success, both pro late models and super late models and even late model stock cars. He has a lot of experience at Hickory Motor Speedway, and he's one of those local kids from this area. Underfunded team, ran well at Southern National Motorsports Park, but I think he could be one of those that, kind of sneaks underneath the radar and is right there around the top 5 late in the race. So Justin Kreider, another one of those drivers, especially if you love rooting for the underdog, the Kreiders are definitely fit that bill.
Listen, if you can't make it out to Hickory Motor Speedway on Saturday, it'll be live on Flow Racing as well. You will not want to miss this. So much talent between two divisions, 70 plus cars, and I still can't get over the fact there'll be a B main for the late model stock cars. So if you can't make it out, watch it live on Flow Racing. So much talent in the field, such a big event, and so good for short track racing.
And we always forget, make sure you subscribe to Short Track Life, like and comment. It'll help us know what you want to see, because we want to offer a lot of free content through our YouTube channel. So make sure you hit that link there and subscribe to Short Track Life.